fishing. No, this is not a fish story. The simple concept of designing a fishing lure to look exactly like live, natural bait founded the Creek Chub Bait Company, a company in Garrett that reeled in the honor of being the largest manufacturer of wooden artificial fish baits in the world. And the most collectible. Henry Dills, George Schultes, and Karl Heinzerling are the men responsible.
They loved the business, and or they loved hunting and fishing, and they wanted to make it go. It was something they enjoyed and were proud of and had faith in.
Men were devout fishermen, and they knew all about these lures, and they felt like they had the better mousetrap. They had developed something better than was on the market.
A better mousetrap indeed. By the 1930s, Creek Chub Bait Company lures were the most sought after in the world. What was the secret?
They caught fish. They looked good, they were durable, they held a lot of fishing trips.
They had tested them well, they had developed them, and made a wonderful product.
The scale finish that they put on the baits to make look like actual fish scales, that was Henry Dills' idea. He done his first scale finishes by spray painting through a bridle veil, little netting, and then he got that process patented, and later on shared it with the Hedden Company, which was a company that started in the early 1900s, like 1902, and they shared that scale patent, and other companies paid them royalties to use that.
In 1906, the Creek Chub Bait Company started production in the basement of George Schultes' home. Parts were prepared by the three owners and assembled by one female employee. By 1916, the company was housed in the old Garrett Hotel Annex on Kaiser Street. Creek Chub remained in this building until it was sold in 1978. The workforce grew steadily over the years to meet the demand, a workforce mostly occupied by women, whose artistic skills in painting were greatly appreciated by the founders.
One reason there were so many women employed, they were railroad wives, a lot of them. And also there wasn't that much opportunity for women to have jobs in the early days, of course. And if they weren't educated to become a school teacher or a nurse, which was practically the only thing anybody ever became, why they went to work at the Creek Chub.
One small problem grew along with the success of Creek Chub. Many letters began to arrive requesting specific baits. Now, what problem could this be? Well, the letters were from foreign countries, in their native language.
Sometimes the Spanish letters particularly got very flowery, and they would write a page or two about the personal experiences of catching such and such a fish in such and such a river on a creek chub. Harry did a lot of special orders for them too, especially in Africa.
Catalogs were an important part of Creek Chub marketing. This catalog was from 1917, and in 1917, Creek Chub only had 3 lures. By 1925, their catalog now had 44 pages with 22 lures. In addition to lures, they were selling reels and rods and lots of other fishing equipment. But not only did the catalog have things for sale, there was also information on how to catch bass, how to catch pike, and how to catch walleye, and other information for the fishermen. They continued to develop it. They were well over 30 lures by the early 30s. When this catalog came out with the girl holding the gigantic fish on it. It's interesting when you look at the back of this catalog, the Creek Chub artists making their catalogs were not beyond telling a good fish story in their catalog. Look at the size of that fish. Do you think that you could really catch one that size?
I think the whole Creek Chub story is great because it was born and bred right here in Garrett, started here, and it became one of the 5 major bait factories in the world.
When you know about Creek Chub, every time you fish for bass, you're using ideas that were developed by Henry Dills. His very basic ideas he used on the very first lure are still present in every fishing lure today.